God, guys. Oh my god!
Christ. Another obvious sign from God, ignored by the people he's screaming to listen at the loudest. British people. He's trying to make you see that ultimate frisbee is your calling. You should be rejoicing, not openly panicking. Hi again, guys. And I love ridiculing people in situations that I would panic during because I only have to experience what they went through by watching a silly little video on the internet instead of being in real life peril. But to be fair to me, real life can be hard to parse nowadays because, let's be real, where in Nick Ocado's intestinal tract did that thing come from? Like, how the hell did the dog get his head through the gas door? I can't believe it. Here's a big red circle around it if you were having trouble believing your eyes. I'm getting these posts from the real life glitches at glitches IRL account on Twitter, and I gotta say, it's one of the best curated pages I've seen. There were so many bangers that I didn't have to scroll for several years to find. If you enjoy this video, this card at the end will take you to another like it, and also only 20% of y'all are subscribed with notifications on. If you sub and hit that bell icon, you'll never miss a video, and you can always undo it later. But what I'm pretty damn happy about though is making money, and this video's sponsor, Opera GX. Opera GX is an internet browser that will lovingly caress your shoulders and let you do whatever you want to it in return. It's an incredibly customizable and submissive browser. You can literally swap every piece of it like you're modding Skyrim using GX mods. On the GX store, there are an incredible range of mods that let you surgically tear to pieces and reassemble your Opera browser autopsy. You can pick background music to play in the background. You can make the keyboard moan whatever you type if you really want. You can set custom sounds for opening and closing tabs. You can change the themes and colors of your browser and use mod-dedicated wallpaper. And hey, if you ever get sick of one and want to cast it aside like a toy you've grown too old for, you can individually disable and enable mods from the mod menu on the Opera sidebar. Speaking of that sidebar, I know y'all are probably like me, lazy, and want all your shit in one place. Well, Opera lets you do just that by seeing what's happening on all your apps in one place. Once you log into your Twitch, Discord, TikTok, even your fucking Facebook Messenger account, you can get notifications for all of them directly on that sidebar. All that without having to keep open extra tabs. I can't tell you how often I've used a default browser while trying to edit a video, especially one like the iceberg that took everything my computer had, and then my editing program would just start lagging because of all the resources being hogged in the background by a greedy internet browser. Meanwhile, Opera has something they call GX Control that lets you limit how much RAM and CPU usage you let Opera keep for itself. That way, you can have all your tabs open without frying your computer alive. Use my link in the description below to download Opera for free. Thanks again to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. Dude, what are you doing filming? He's stuck up there. Help him get down. Grab a ladder and escort him to safety. At least call someone with a big ladder. The fire department's got those. What are you doing just sitting on your ass lathering vine booms on top of that poor old husk suffering? The noodles are inviting you to dance with them. Start spinning. It'll make the food taste better. I gotta say, I've never seen a pot of food so excited to be eaten. Usually that's because they aren't alive, so they don't really have an opinion on it usually. But you'd imagine that if the food you ate was living and breathing at the time of consumption, it wouldn't be so damn happy about its fast approaching time of death.
What the fuck?
Mordecai? Is that you? And what do you mean, what the fuck? You see weirder shit than that every day for minimum wage. I always make like little fan fiction in my head of other universes running into the regular showcast. Like whatever the hell was happening in Alan Wake 2 goes down in the park and Skips just knows what to do. Oh yeah, I've seen this before. You gotta shine a flashlight on the corrupted. Huh. This might be the only pro-homeless public bench that I've ever seen. There's literally an anti-homeless one in the background for reference. Meanwhile, this bench is setting an example of how we should treat the homeless. It will gently cradle anyone who tries to lay down on it and defend them from the elements. If you're worried about people being put off by the sight of a homeless person, they wouldn't even be able to notice them until they got really close to this thing. At which point, they're the weird one for getting all in his personal space. The dude's taking a nap. Leave that guy alone. God damn it, there's an error sign where the moon's supposed to be. I mean, at least the PNG is still reflecting sunlight. It's a placeholder that was set up, so even if the moon bugs out, the tides and all the climate mechanics that go with it don't shit the bed, just because Gru successfully stole the moon. This also has to be the most literal example of a real-life glitch you're gonna see in this whole video. Like, some shit is just missing in the skybox, and this is all we get in the meantime. I reckon we're all gonna get thrown in a collective coma so the devs can shut the servers down for maintenance without us noticing in a minute here. Shit, you got Minecraft performance mode turned on. It legit looks like some of those old-ass videos where people would be running 4K resolution texture packs on old versions of Minecraft, but have no shaders installed. Just very fine detail on those blocks, but you can definitely still tell that they are blocks. They know something we don't. What's in that damn car? I don't care if the driver's gonna be late for a funeral. Those birds aren't cycloning around him for no reason. He's gotta prove to me that there isn't like a nuclear warhead or some ancient staff of unknown power in his trunk before he can go say goodbye to his grandma for the last time. If there's one thing I've learned in my life, it's that birds know what's up. Shadow.exe has stopped working. I've seen this picture at least a dozen times over the years, and it never doesn't make me anxious. Like, why do these extended Roblox heads not have shadows on them, even when the stuff around them still has shadows, even tiny ones? The GPU running reality is crying. Imagine how much Bitcoin you could have mined with that thing. The real explanation for it is actually kind of neat, though. I believe this was a photo taken in Hawaii when the sun was directly overhead, and because of that, these bean poles didn't cast a visible shadow. That being said, if this is Hawaii, I didn't know that the plague of the American gas station core had expanded that far away into our borders. Somebody fire the 3D modeler on this car. You forgot to stop the exhaust pipes from clipping into each other. It was probably just an in-joke in the office when they were making it. They thought it looked like half of an Audi logo, which I understand, but that car is not worth half an Audi. And your little inside joke is getting us flamed on Reddit, calling us the next Cyberpunk 2077. Our stock price is plummeting. What were you thinking? That's the downside of procedurally generated crowds. There's a good chance you'll get some pop in here and there, and it'll look like Houdini decided to finally reappear. We were lucky that this guy decided to do it behind the car, so even if it looks awkward, we can just say he hopped out of the door while it was still in motion. He's actually just sick as fuck, and not a bug in the source code. That's gotta be a perspective trick where some really talented artist is like, let me draw a fake-ass river on the roof of this tunnel. That'll ruin some people's trust in their own perception of reality. Okay, I said it has to be, but that's because I can't think of anything else it would be, but I'm not even fully convincing myself. Like, that explanation doesn't really add up. If you get to draw a fake body of water in the middle of your city, surely you would make it the cleanest, most drinkable looking water you could, right? But instead we've got an open-air sewer. That mural probably lowers the property value of anything that has a view of it. Okay, this might look like a glitch, but it's actually a design feature. Sure, it may appear to be a 3D model spawned on top of itself one too many times, but those chairs are actually just made to be like that. You underestimate the structural integrity of a bunch of chairs built to be stacked on top of one another. I've been floating the idea of using these things to build makeshift structures during wartime and natural disasters for years because of their stability. FEMA always turns me down, but what do they know? Here's another one that might look like a major oversight, but was actually put there on purpose. At least that's what the devs will say when they can't be asked to fix it. This truck strung up on the power lines like Jesus on the cross might look too heavy for it to be held up, but you can see it's already drawn a massive crowd. You can't exactly sweep this one under the rug. So now instead of a glitch, it's an Easter egg. One of those funny curiosities you can experience if you fully explore the world map here on Earth. He either ate the hottest food possible, or shit was too cold, and this guy can just breathe fire. He was trying to cook it to his preferred temperature, you know? I didn't see any smoke wafting off the plate to make someone float in the air to see what it was, so I personally think I'm correct. Hell nah. The fog is growing ever closer, and these morons are just hanging out. Why? Because it's still normal daylight where they are? I guarantee you it was bright and sunny where the fog is now just a few seconds ago. Now it looks like a Stephen King film adaptation. Your ass is gonna be sorry when you're trapped in a mist from which there is no escape. You better sell your house and move out of town in the next 60 seconds, or you're gonna be stuck there forever. Honestly, that's not so different from being trapped in a small town with no prospects the normal way. I legit thought that was a baby gorilla when I first looked at it. I might be stupid. King Kong's early days stepping around New York were spent pretending to be a really fucked up looking bird. I am honestly trying to figure out what's wrong with this thing. It doesn't even look like it has talons or some shit. Just normal ass hind legs that could probably fit into some baby-sized Jordans. That's easily the freakiest thing I've ever seen. My brain scrambled between a tidal wave about to come down a suburbia to thinking a big iceberg was rolling up next to Iceberg Alley. That is, until I realized that the houses are too suburban even for that possibility. So I'm left wondering what this weather mystery that's textured like the inside of an orange is supposed to be. I'm pretty sure I go outside more than the average Kwite viewer, but that's not really doing shit to help me understand what's going on here. This building tripped me up so bad. It looks like a pizza slice is missing from the sky. Wasn't that the plot of Chicken Little? Just panels of the skybox fucking up and nobody believes it until they can see it for themselves? These angular-ass buildings exist in so many places, I'm actually surprised. The architects designing this stuff have to have one big inside joke where they place these everywhere to mess with people who view it from the right angle. It distracts them so they lose focus and they end up tripping into oncoming traffic, taking bets on who can get the highest kill count. Again, what is it with building engineers and making your eyes pop out of your head? Dumbass, you forgot to assign textures to these walls. Now the sky is blaring through the entire building. Some guy is gonna try and clip through the bricks. Hell, the building might collapse on itself because of these missing walls. How do you think the people living in those units are gonna feel when they come home to the outside wall of their living room being fucking gone? Fix it before they get off work or you're fired! Okay, this box is not that impressive. Me and a bunch of Chinese people, apparently, can all support ourselves in the corner of a wall like Spider-Man. It's advanced tech, so you might not be able to do it, but that box is labeled with Bimbo Bakehouse. I just needed you to see that. That's all I got. That card I mentioned should be on screen. Thanks again to Opera for sponsoring this video. Remember, it's the first link in the description to check them out. Anyways, this has been Kwite, and I've been better.